Recently, I got the opportunity to check out one of my absolute favorite bands of all time at a show, and I want to talk about it. Alter Bridge have been around for a while. Most people know them as the post-Creed band, but on an elevated level, I would say, in terms of the expansion of their sound and what they can do. And they're really great live. And they came to Atlanta recently with Sevendust as the support band, which Sevendust is also a local band. So pretty cool to see them perform at home, basically. And I was like, let's go. Why not? Both of these bands, I would say, in my opinion, are some of the kind of more recent, high-end, excellent bands that you can see in terms of the modern hard rock, new metal, post-grunge, whatever you want to call them. A lot of influences really in both of these bands, but yeah, it was interesting to be at the Roxy. It's kind of like the stepping stone venue that these bands are taking on their journey up the ranks. I vividly remember going to see Bad Omens there, and that was a step up from their previous show. And obviously since that point, they have exploded and will be doing shows far bigger than this. But it's a great kind of medium-sized venue for a lot of these bands to come through. And the night actually started off with somebody I had never heard of. The opening act was none other than Tim Montana, a name I am now familiar with, but mostly because of the name implied. He was entertaining, at least. There was some banter going on stage, kind of made light of the fact that he is actually from Montana. I would have hoped for a more creative band name, but, sometimes you just roll with these things. I respect the hustle to get to where he's at. And, I wouldn't say it's personally my taste in music. At least these days, I would liken it to maybe something similar to like a Black Stone Cherry, or even like maybe a Shaman's Harvest. There's kind of a bluesy Southern rock undertone going on. Maybe even a little similar in the musicianship to Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen. But, kind of a gritty vocal delivery. But, entertaining opening act. I thought he delivered on, what he sold, played about 6 or 7 songs, and yeah, about as much as you could ask for. Funny enough, I took my brother to this show. He's kind of getting into this type of heavier music a little more. He's kind of in his classic rock post-grunge era currently, and he actually enjoyed, of the 3 bands, he enjoyed Tim Montana more. So apparently they made a fan. But on to what I was there for, which was the last 2 bands, and it started with Sevendust, who are, I don't know if I'd consider them legends of the rock new metal scene. They kind of have I feel like an underrated following, maybe their talent is understated, but you cannot deny the stage presence and the energy they came with at the show. It was so good, so captivating and energetic. Lejon on vocals, he really didn't do anything over the top, but obviously his vocal delivery and everything that comes with it just made you feel something. Clint on guitars, same deal. I mean, he was providing the secondary background vocals, and it was glorious. So the guys are very talented. They've obviously been doing this a long time, and they knew what the hell they were doing. And it was infectious. It really was. And it also helps that their music is super groovy and so easy to bob your head to. It's perfect for a live atmosphere, and they killed it. Everybody was bouncing along. And I was pleasantly surprised that they actually played mostly their old bangers. Like you've got Denial, Enemy, Black. I think Waffle was my personal standout live. I mean, they all just slapped so much. And yeah, just obviously local faves. They got the crowd going. It was a great time. And I kind of wish I would have seen them live sooner. But they're kind of one of those bands that I've gravitated towards their newer stuff in some cases, starting with Unraveling. I think they released that back in 2008 or 2010. But ever since then, it's kind of been off and on for me with them. I've only more recently gotten into their old stuff, which is great gym music. And their newer stuff, they still will release a few songs on each record that kind of capture that old visceral energy, but Some of it's more leaning into like the radio rock stuff, but overall, I mean, they're just a really solid band, and I can't recommend them highly enough on a live setting. I mean, if you have the chance to go see them and they're touring, do it. Also, shout out to Morgan Rose. I did not really anticipate him standing out to me, but my God, the guy has some serious drum chops. I mean, holy cow. Like, he was crushing it, throwing in crazy fills left and right, and just, I guess, kind of gives them a, that sense of the metal-leaning side of their sound, and it's just perfectly executed. And yeah, the guy's a beast. Also, one of their newer songs, Is This the Real You? They did play that, and I think of their newer ones, that grabbed me the most on their newest record. It is so good. It's so bouncy. What they're good at. And of course, the band closing it off was Alter Bridge. And I've seen these guys live once before. They have, I think, typically been known for good live shows. At least in my experience, the last time I went to see them, they were incredible. And Fortress, one of my favorite albums of all time. They're a really solid, really good band that puts out good material. Admittedly, their newer stuff has a different vibe and a different tone to it that I don't gravitate to as much, but never hesitate to see them if I can. They are great musicians, and they played all the best, as you would expect from these guys. The set list was varied. They played nothing from their Last Hero or Walk the Sky albums, but everything else got a little bit of a dip, which was very good to see. They've got obviously a lot of great material. Musicianship was on point. They crushed it. Miles, even as he's getting up there in age, just superb live vocals. The note was that obviously he was not always hitting the crazy highs that he can on studio recordings. He was mostly letting the crowd get some of it, and then he would save some of his energy for the big moments and, pick his spots, which makes sense. I can't really fault the guy for that, but still put on a great performance live. Everybody else was super tight, as you would expect, and a couple live nuances they added to their set, which was cool. Obviously, Mark Tremonti sings on occasional songs, especially, considering he has his own solo project, but he did Tested and Able, which is one of their newer songs on the new album that he sings, and he actually got a spin at singing Burn It Down, which was cool for a change. Obviously, he doesn't have the gravitational weight with his voice like Miles does on that song, but knocked it out of the park. Pretty impressed. There was also a very cool, light acoustic moment where they played a snippet of Wonderful Life, which led into Watch Over You. Super nice. A very easy palate cleanser in that case, so good to see that. People forget, man, the softer moments they have, just sometimes they hit you. They did a lot of the, usual crowd work stuff you'd expect from a band like that. I think for me, it's not really what I'm looking for. The clap your hands and side to side, or trying to get sections of the crowd to scream at different points. It's fine. It keeps everybody engaged, I guess, but it's obviously not why I'm there. So it's not for me, but that's just my opinion. But overall, great show. Can't complain. And they, of course, stepped away for their little fake encore and came back for Blackbird. Didn't say too much and just took us home. Gorgeous. I mean, if you release a song like that, they're probably sick of playing it last at every concert, but you kind of have to at that point. It is what it is when it's so good. But yeah, I mean, again, like these bands, Sevendust and Alter Bridge, they are two just titans, at least for me. So I was really, thankful to be able to see them live in this capacity, and they kicked ass. So obviously at this point, they're trending on the other side of their, peak, potentially in terms of their career arc, but doesn't matter. They still absolutely crushed it. Let me know in the comments what you think about crowd interactions at live shows. I'd be curious if that's just my point of view or if anybody else has any takes on that. Also, if you enjoy any of these bands and have live experiences like myself, let me know. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Like it as well. And I hope to see you in the next one. Adios.